Oh, hello there. I'm Mapledungeons, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Guardian build. This build is a fully supportive build. So you can do a reasonable amount of damage while supporting your allies by both removing conditions from them and supporting them by getting a lot of reses off and stomps off, which is one of the most important aspects of PvP in this game. So let's get into the trade line. You want to put 30 points into Valor for this, and you'll lose a condition every 10 seconds. You'll want to gain 90 toughness while using a shield, and finally make it so whenever you apply a boon to allies, it will heal you a little bit. This will make you pretty tanky in certain aspects. Then 20 points into honor, and then pick this, which will give you a little shield of absorption whenever you're reviving an ally, and then make two-handed weapon skills recharge 20% faster, which is very important for this build. Then you have retaliation lasting 25% longer, so you can have constant retaliation uptime and let people just nail on you if they want, but they will die too. Activating a Virtue of Resolve removes 3 conditions. This is also very important because this doesn't have as much condition removal as some other builds, so you need to have this and pop that virtue whenever you have a bunch of conditions stacked on you. With that said for the traits, let's just go quickly through the armor. I'm using a soldier's amulet just for the vitality and toughness, just so I can stay up and alive, and just for some extra raw damage. I'm using the superior rune of Dwana just for the extra healing and toughness in terms of healing. And then I'm using this great sword with some extra damage in it, and this mace with chance to heal nearby allies, which goes very well with the support idea, and another damage thing. So this build can actually do pretty good damage if the enemy decides to hit you. Now we are using a greatsword here, but what I do have is another hammer, and I will switch out the greatsword for a hammer depending on what I'm doing in a team. If I need to guard a point 1v1 or even 1v2, I will switch to the hammer just for the knockback. Because if we look at what this greatsword can offer, let's just see. We put down this field and then have this to send out cleansing bolts, which will cure allies for us. Then we have this blind, which will also be very helpful in a team fight just to blind some enemies. And then finally this will pull enemies that are running away back towards you. You'll throw a blade at them and then you'll pull them back. It's very useful for a team fight, but if we switch to the hammer, let's just switch to the hammer here. Instead, we have some extra retaliation, we have an immobilize, as well as an extra knockback, and if we can, like, say, knock someone back, and then put this down on a point, it can allow us to cap it. And then we switch to this, and we have another knockback like so, and by that time, you can often actually just cap the point without even killing anyone. So that's very useful for when you're holding points, but the normal weapon we'll be using is the greatsword for the supporting aspect. The abilities I'm using, I'm going to start from the right here for some reasons, is Renewed Focus. The book you'd think would be the perfect weapon for the support build, but it really depends. You can use the book with this if you want, but Renewed Focus adds in a whole extra layer of these and gives you a 3-second immunity, so when they're focusing you, you can last a whole lot longer. The book is still useful if you have an ally that can give you stability or something, or you can have stability for a long time, but otherwise I'd go with this. Then we have this stability as well as a stun break, which is very useful for stomping or all kinds of other things that you can need in a battle. Then we have this consecration, which will put up a bubble around us and knock back anyone that comes, as well as block out any projectiles. It's a very good way of staying alive, and it is also a very good way of getting reses off. If you have 2 people trying to stomp a guy, if you can put down one of those and then res the guy, that is often very effective. And it also is very effective if you want to do the whole knockback thing. You can do what I was doing earlier and then put that down and use it as the whole knockback away from the point, cap it. Otherwise, you can use pretty much anything you want on this last slot. You could use one of the meditations for extra condition removal or for extra healing. You can use another shout if you want. You can use the spirit bow, which is very good for healing, or the spirit hammer, which is very good for stuns. Or you can use what I'm using now, which is a speed boost. I'm just trying out this speed boost right now just so I can see how it works, because I want to use it just to get stomps off quicker and get reses off quicker, just to get to my teammates, because I'm pretty slow in general. So with that said, just pick whatever you want for that slot and then use this blocking heal as your healing slot. We already have some condition removal from here and from just a passive that removes conditions from us for 10 seconds, so we don't need the other signet. We're just going to use this block to keep us alive longer and just for the healing. And I believe that is the whole build. I hope you find it useful. And I'm not going to actually get into too much in terms of combat in this video, but I will be coming out with how well this kind of style works in tournament PvP in the near future. So you can expect that coming damn soon. One thing I should say in terms of the playstyle you should be using with this build is you want to be using your other weapon, your greatsword, whenever you're at a higher health and whenever you're confident you can survive. But when you want to switch into a more defensive position, you want to switch to the shield, and you can use this defense here, you can use this healing rune, or you can knock back opponents and do a little bubble, or you can use this block. It's very useful for defensive, and it's why it is our secondary weapon. I believe that is all we have for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I've been Mapledungeons. If you'd like to see more like this in the future, you can subscribe and let me know. I'll see you next time.